In the world of pop music, fame has a reputation for being a homewrecker. It's a force that has shattered legendary bands, turned partners into rivals, and ended eras that felt like they would last forever. The story is almost always the same. A group gets a taste of success, and the pressure, ego, and spotlight eventually cause everything to crumble. But every so often, a group comes along that just refuses to follow that script. A group that meets the crushing weight of global fame with something even stronger. Fame is a force that has torn countless music groups apart. But for SB19, it was met with something even more powerful. A brotherhood forged in years of unseen struggle. This isn't just a story about a chart-topping band. It's the story of how loyalty became their greatest hit. Before SB19 became the kings of P-pop, they were just 5 young men, Pablo, Josh, Stel, Ken, and Justin, going through a trial by fire. Their story doesn't start under the bright lights of a sold-out arena. It starts in the stark, demanding environment of a South Korean-inspired training program. And let's be clear, this wasn't some glamorous artist boot camp. This was designed to push them to their absolute limits. We're talking 3 years of grueling 9-hour training days with only 1 day of rest each week. The physical toll was huge, but the mental and emotional strain was even tougher. From documentaries and their own stories, we know it was a time of constant hardship. They rehearsed in empty rooms, shared what little food they had, and pushed through with bruised feet and exhausted lungs. When their 2018 debut single, Tilaluha, was met with near silence, they were so close to disbanding. In those quiet moments of doubt, when giving up felt like the only logical choice, they didn't turn on each other. They turned to each other. It was in that fire of exhaustion and scarcity that their bond was truly forged. They weren't just colleagues chasing a dream. They were soldiers in the same trench, fighting for survival. They made a silent pact that would become their guiding principle. If one of us falls, we all pull him back up. They decided they would either rise as 5 or not at all. They learned that their real power wasn't just individual talent, but their collective will to keep going. When one member struggled, the others didn't move on. They stopped and waited. When doubt crept in, the answer wasn't, "Be stronger." It was, "We're stronger together." This foundation, built on loyalty when they had nothing else, turned them from a group of fighters into a band of brothers. They didn't just meet at the finish line, they crawled there together. After years of grinding with almost nothing to show for it, their big break didn't come from a record deal or a TV spot. It came from a single viral spark. In 2019, a dance practice video for their song Go Up absolutely exploded on social media, and suddenly, the world was paying attention. This was it. This was the moment they'd been fighting for. Soon after, they became the first Filipino act on the Billboard Next Big Sound chart, and later, the first to break into the top 10 of the Billboard Social 50. The floodgates were open. Their song, Bazinga, topped the Billboard Hot Trending Songs chart for a record-shattering 7 weeks. They became the first Southeast Asian act ever nominated for a Billboard Music Award. Their tours sold out, their music broke records, and the name SB19 became the global face of P-pop. But fame is disorienting. That jump from total anonymity to worldwide adoration can inflate egos and create distance. For most groups, this is where the story turns, where the internal fighting begins. For SB19, the exact opposite happened. The bigger their circle of fame got, the tighter their personal circle became. They didn't see the pressure and scrutiny as individual burdens to carry, but as external noise they had to face together. Every award, every chart position, every sold-out show wasn't a personal win. It was a shared victory. They had already survived the worst storms together in private. The public spotlight was just another challenge to face as a unit. Their success didn't expose weakness or ego. It revealed the strength they had built in total obscurity. Fame didn't change them. It just showed the world who they were all along. This incredible bond is the heart of their story. If you believe in the power of that kind of unity, think about subscribing. We explore the real stories that define modern music and the artists who are changing the game. The music industry never lets up. The pressure doesn't stop after a hit song. It gets worse. For SB19, global recognition brought a whole new level of expectations, criticism, and pure exhaustion. But when creative disagreements or the stress of their careers hit, that brotherhood was their anchor. They had already mastered the art of honest communication long before anyone was watching. Disagreements weren't battles to be won, they were problems to be solved. They learned to face those tough moments with a maturity that came from years of shared struggle. And then came the ultimate test. In 2023, they parted ways with their management company, a period of uncertainty that could have easily broken the group apart. Instead, it brought them closer. They took control of their own destiny by launching their own company, 1Z Entertainment, with their leader Pablo stepping up as the founding CEO. This move was a powerful statement. From now on, their future would be on their own terms, together. It gave them total creative freedom and cemented their identity not just as artists, but as entrepreneurs. They proved that the name SB19 wasn't tied to a label. It was embodied by the five of them. Their unity was the real asset. This disciplined approach to their relationship is their secret weapon. Each member knows his role: Pablo's vision, Stell's command of the stage, Josh's vocal guidance, Ken's raw versatility, and Justin's creative energy. That clarity gets rid of the internal rivalries that poison so many other groups. They don't see each other as competition. They see each other as family on a mission. The strength of SB19's Brotherhood isn't just an internal force. You can see it in everything they do. Their unity has become a platform for something bigger. You see it clearly in their philanthropic work, which they tackle with the same all-in spirit as their music. They don't just lend their name to a cause, they show up. Their first major online concert, Back in the Zone, was a fundraiser for communities hit by typhoons. They also performed at the Fort concert to benefit music scholars. Individually, they carry that same spirit. Josh has worked with organizations to support vulnerable children in Manila, sharing his own story to inspire them. And inspired by Ken, his fans organized donations to the Philippine Eagle Foundation in his name. It shows that their influence isn't just about topping charts, it's about inspiring people to take action. By starting 1Z Entertainment, they're now building a legacy that's designed to outlast their own careers. They're paving the way for the next generation of Filipino artists, making sure others have the support they had to fight so hard for. They're expanding their vision, aiming to elevate not just Ppop, but all of Filipino culture on the world stage. Their mission has become bigger than just the five of them. Conclusion and seed. In an industry that loves to crown individual superstars, SB19 is a powerful reminder of the strength of a team. Their journey proves that success doesn't have to cost you your loyalty. Those years of hardship weren't a setback. They were an investment in a bond that fame could never buy and pressure could never break. Their story redefines what it means to be a group. It's not about avoiding conflict, but about mastering it with respect, trust, and an unbreakable promise to always rise together. The applause will fade, and the charts will change, but the brotherhood that carried them from an empty rehearsal room to the global stage is the legacy that will last forever. What part of SB19's journey inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories about the real forces shaping the music world.